Hey guys, Sean here, and today we got some Blitz gameplay. Admittedly, this is kind of a weird gameplay, but the reason it turns into a weird gameplay is because of a host migration, and that's kind of what leads into our topic, and that's why I'm using it for today. Upon host migrating, my entire team is kicked out of the game, and I'm pretty sure some of the other teams kicked out of the game. So, this is about dedicated servers. Now, I did a video a couple weeks back about the Xbox One and how Microsoft said that every company will get dedicated servers for free. All the developers who develop on Xbox One will have dedicated servers for free. And I said a few things. First of all, I said that I don't think it's possible. I don't think that they could possibly have enough servers to do that for everyone all the time. It would become way too expensive, and then everyone yelled at me, well, it's a virtual thing. It's not actually fucking, oh my god. So, it doesn't matter. Point is I don't think that they can do it. And second of all, the other thing I said is that dedicated servers, and I've been saying this forever, but dedicated servers are not a solution for everything. You know, if the dedicated server isn't near you, it's not going to help you. And so people are like, well, they have them everywhere. It's in every fucking neighborhood in the whole country. Okay, I get it. They're the best. I know. I got it. They're the best. So, the reason I'm saying this is because Call of Duty Ghost, they said that they had dedicated servers. Now, they said it was a hybrid system between peer-to-peer and dedicated servers. Well, as far as I can tell, at this moment in time, it is just peer-to-peer. There is no dedicated servers. I have been in plenty of games with host migration. I played a game yesterday with some friends that literally I was like jumping in and out of a window over and over again. I threw a grenade, then I had the grenade again, like crazy lag, like the worst. And that's happened a few times. I've had games where I've gotten a kill or I've died, the game's just frozen and just dropped me out and said it lost connection to the host. Like, all kinds of crazy shit has gone down that wouldn't happen on dedicated servers, because obviously the dedicated server isn't going to migrate host. It is the host. And it's not going to dashboard. So, there's no way that I could be dropped out of it. And so, like I was saying, dedicated servers, they aren't a solution for everything. They aren't. And, you know, if you're not near them, you're going to have latency issues. And if you're not, you know, if there's not enough of them, you're not going to be on them. And I don't know, but I feel like Infinity Ward and Activision told a white lie when they were talking about this. And what I mean by that is, they said that they had dedicated servers, and then they, you know, were like, hybrid. Like, they kind of whispered hybrid. It's hybrid. It's not totally dedicated servers, because they don't have enough. There isn't enough, and they're not really doing it. And if they are doing it, there's so few that it doesn't even matter. Because the only way to make dedicated servers actually work and, like, improve the game is to have the dedicated servers so that everyone's on them, and to have them everywhere. Because if they're not everywhere, and you're not always on them, then there's no point. Because peer-to-peer, I mean, as much as people bitch about connection in games, and hit detection, and lag, and things like that, there are plenty of games you play that are just fine. Like, there's no issues with connection or lag, and it's on peer-to-peer in past Call of Duties and in this one. There's plenty of games you play that are fine. And so, if peer-to-peer is, you know, let's say 75% of the time when you play on peer-to-peer, you have a good connection. We'll just say 75%. Then there's that 25% where it's a disaster, or the game drops, or something terrible happens. Well, if the dedicated servers, either there's not enough of them for you to usually be on them, or they're not near you, so your latency is still terrible, well, then it doesn't matter. That's the same as having peer-to-peer. Because when I host a game for my, you know, when I've played competitive, I host a game, or Irish, one of my teammates that in the past host a game, me and him both have a fine, like, we're 4-barring on each other's connection. But if we let somebody in California host, we both have a terrible connection. So, to me, unless you're going to have dedicated servers for all games everywhere, there's no point in having them, because peer-to-peer has the same hit and miss, you know, tendencies as you may or may not be on a dedicated server, and it may or may not be near you. And the other thing I think that kind of really makes me wary of what they did is that they took out the connection indicators. So, like, people in the past have asked them to put the actual, like, ping, like, in milliseconds, because, like, if you play PC, it'll tell you in a lot of games, like, you have 60 ping. So it takes 60 milliseconds for you, like, your data to get back and forth. Like, it'll tell you the ping in a number. And in Call of Duty on consoles, and I think on PC recently, they've been doing it in the bars. Like, you have 4-bar, you have 3-bar, you have 2-bar. And people have asked, like, hey, put the actual ping in milliseconds. And now they took out all of it. There's no bars, there's no ping. And to me, I think they did that to disguise, you know, how often you're not on dedicated servers. Because if you can't see that you're always 3-barring, you won't be complaining. But if you can see it's always a 3-bar, you're like, what the fuck, guys? Like, I'm supposed to be on dedicated servers. There's no dedicated servers here. This is ridiculous. Like, I'm always 3-barring. And it's just annoying because just say it. Just say you're not doing it. And, you know, when the Xbox One comes out, I'm very curious to see if the combination of Microsoft's promises and their promises come together to give everyone dedicated servers all the time. But at least as it stands now, on the 360, they're not there. From what I've heard from people, the PC, they're not there. And they're not there on the PS3. So, it's disappointing. I feel like they kind of lied. Or at least they stretched the truth a bit. And I think that I was right. That they weren't going to have enough of them. It'd be too expensive. And that it's not happening. Because it'd be too expensive. And even if the server, if you are on one and the server's not near you, it's not going to matter. So, that's what I think about it. You know, the difference between having 500,000 slots and 100,000 slots for people to play on are a big deal, because 500,000 means you're likely going to be on one. 100,000 means you probably aren't. So, that's my thoughts. I'm pretty disappointed in the game so far, especially in that respect. I hope I covered everything. I hope I didn't piss anyone off too bad. Again, feel free to dispute me, but if you're just screaming at me, I'm not going to listen. Thank you for watching. Like the video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.